I'm Ash Minnick, and this is Club Auspex, the show where we look into the unseen and have a discussion with the players of New York by Night after each episode. Today, I have with me Mayanna Berrin and Aabria Iyengar. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome to the Tight Black Pants Club.
Thank you. Yes, we're doing it. It's happening.
Look at us.
Yes. So we're already bonded, so like.
I think this is how you blood bond.
Correct. You wear the same pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nailed
we're blood
at us.
bonded now.
Forever.
We did it.
That's
Forever.
bonds forever.
Yay.
All right, so welcome back to Club Auspex. Both of y'all have been here before at the club.
Regulars
to
in
be
the
back.
club.
Yes, welcome back to the club.
Still waiting for the jacket.
Ooh.
I put in my form.
Members only
Oh,
jackets.
you know, there's just a wait list, so it's just they're a little behind. We'll for sure we're just trying to pin down the slogan because we want that on the jackets. You see,
Yes.
it was show me your mind, and we just kind of that falling out.
Oh no.
So looking for new suggestions. Anyway, so let's start with the obvious. We got our two ladies here. It's both of y'all together on this club, at least for the first time.
Yes.
Hi.
Um,
nice to see you.
So nice to see you.
Y'all are your characters are getting a little taggy and a little kissy. A lot of tagging and a lot of kissing.
Yeah.
That's the name of this episode.
Yeah, so you're both
Tagging and kissing.
you're both finding ways to leave your mark around the city, as it
that
were.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is? Yeah, just tell me. Don't tag, kiss, and tell. Tell me. Yeah.
Oh man.
When you're playing,
Yeah.
for both of y'all, what is it like? No, this person or this bench. This bench needs to be gold. That woman needs to be kissed.
Yes.
What is is it just once a scene? What's the?
Those who can't paint, kiss is what I always live by.
And those who paint do so when our lovely game master eloquently described an object. So I was like, well, I gotta
Okay.
spray that now.
So when an object gets special description or when an NPC gets special description,
Yes.
they get either tagged or kissed.
Anything Jason Carl talks about for more than 30 seconds is getting something.
I felt bad that Serif hadn't tagged too much, so I was like, I gotta get that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get back in that muscle reflex.
And now you have a slogan, right? For your
We
coterie.
suck.
The way
perfect.
you said it that way sounded
Yeah, it's
mean,
true.
And
but
we
accurate.
it wasn't meant to be foreshadowing,
Oops.
but maybe it is.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be playful, but we got into a problem.
Oops. I think we did a great job, and I have no regrets at all.
Things mistakes were made.
I think everyone went into that parking garage cave with a different idea of how it was going to go.
I didn't expect a gun
And no one was right.
shot in the head of a security guard.
No one's more
wasn't
surprised
expecting
about that than your girl.
Yeah, girl. I get it. I get it.
We'll get into that.
We don't have to.
We should probably talk about it.
Maybe.
Probably talk about what happened there. But before we do, I just have to ask. So you do kiss a lot of people.
I do.
A lot of the people. Is there anyone special, or is it all just open flirts?
It's an open invitation. No, I think the actual answer is that in this sort of unlife, Fuego is so desperate for connection and affirmation and the comfort that comes with being accepted in those intimate moments. That is why she's acting out. It's kind of why I built her to be a siren and still reach back for that strong physical connection. There was even a moment in episode 1 where Fuego spoke up and then kind of quieted herself when she realized that this was the click, and she wanted to verbally affirm oh, are we all going to stay together after all of this happens, and kind of walked it back. And I think not in a way where I want to make her too much of a sad sack, but this is a world of darkness and isolation, and everything we've been seeing has affirmed that, and I think it makes her a little more risky in her reaching for other people and trying to keep them close.
And she's got some inner coterie flirtations happening as well. Is Rego gonna be a thing? Is that
Oh my God,
Is that
there's
a name already?
I mean, it is,
Please understand, I want to get up and scream and run away. A name, there's a hashtag. It's great.
There you go.
I think it's very interesting that like there is obviously attraction there and like a sort of like beginnings of understanding, but all of it is polluted with that like what part of this is your power and what part of this is just the moment. And I'm so excited to see how we start to like move through that, if we do and if we don't, but she's reaching in the same way that she reaches for people. And that's where she's at right now.
I ship it personally. So.
Look, he's gonna come in with those dope suits.
I mean,
What am I? I'm not.
what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, that's not on me.
you're only human.
I'm only.
Well, she's a little more than human. But
No, that's true. You're only on.
I'm only kindred.
Human. You're only kindred.
What can I do in the face of a good suit?
Have you seen that knot tie?
Woo!
have you seen that little boop?
Oh my God! I get a very close view of the boop, and it's great.
It's glorious.
So good.
Huh, the Ray boop. That's a thing. So, have y'all worked together before? Or been on a show at all?
We literally
before?
met. We literally met like a week ago.
Yeah.
And we're hugging in the parking lot. I'm just
Yeah.
like, you're my friend.
We're just like, we're friends forever.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I feel like as your characters are getting to know each other, y'all are getting to know each other off stage as well. So there's a friendship building. Does that help your table rapport?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm very fortunate also to share a dressing room with Aabria, so
We have
we get
so
to
much
talk a little
time.
bit about things that we want to try or things that we're hoping will happen or just how we're feeling about everything. So that's been really helpful. Also, she's just got so much experience. I feel like I'm literally sharing a dressing room with Yoda. So
Except you're such a good, just inherent storyteller and writer, and all of it comes out in these like incredibly thoughtful moments. So it's never me giving me advice. I'm just like, yes, that more.
Ah.
You're perfect.
I'm gonna die.
And then screaming about how cool all of her wardrobe
Oh my
is
God,
and
and
how much
she's-
I want to genuinely wear everything.
I think her wardrobe's
I
cool.
love this. I ship this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's a friendship.
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 Hooray.
Jump free.
Red ships and blue ships, but there's no ships like friendship. Right? Isn't that the?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
I don't know what it
I
was, but
guess
it was so good.
I'm just here to pull things out of my head. From
I feel like you're doing a great job.
Amazing. I do want to talk about, you mentioned a little bit about Fuego feeling her power. There's also a little bit going on with you and your character feeling freedom, trying to find that.
Yeah.
I think both, it seems to me anyway, but correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like both of your characters are in a place where they're trying to figure themselves out. They're dealing with their beast, they're dealing with being kindred, they're dealing with finding their place, in a world that was very much theirs before, but now they're a very different being. So I would love to hear a little bit about how y'all have decided to let your characters explore finding themselves.
Please,
Oh
after you.
my God, thank you. Oh my God. I haven't had the door held open for me like this before. I just can't. I don't know what to do.
I'm ready now.
Serif is. She really enjoyed a sort of laissez-faire situation before getting involved in all this. So I think that being a kindred to her was just, the challenges of dealing with the beast and just being a little rebellious, essentially a child. Like she was out running around, not really being beholden to anybody. And now she's coming to grips with a lot of responsibility that I don't think she's really ready for, and that she is bitterly ill-equipped to handle. And I think that is causing a lot of conflict. She doesn't know what she should say. She doesn't know what she should do. And every time she tries what she thinks is the right thing to do, she's either, again, bitterly ill-equipped to handle the situation from an attributes perspective, or the rest of the coterie, for very justifiable reasons, tells her you really shouldn't do that. So I think Serif is at a point right now where kind of like the kid who keeps getting kind of like hit with a ruler. I think she's getting really close to her breaking point of everybody telling me what I can and can't do, which is the whole thing that she didn't have to deal with for the last couple years.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you had some moments with Ray in this episode where he was telling you, basically how to feel about yourself.
Yeah. And that was complicated, and I think that she's only had a couple moments with Ray, and I think in the beginning there was this intrigue of like he seems very wise and he seems like he wants to be sort of a big brother or something to her, and then as he has, in my mind, overstepped a little bit and is perhaps a bit too familiar considering he has a lot of his own issues to deal with. I think that her feelings about Ray have become extremely conflicted.
Throw the whole gang girl away. I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. It's just a door that turns into a turtle circle. That's very good.
Is it just going through one of those?
Rotating.
I think very similarly to that, Fuego's like life was so defined by community, and I think she had finally found her stride when she was embraced. She's like, oh, I'm a community organizer. I care about local politics. I'm going to live the values I was raised in, and that's caring about other people and trusting other people. And to have your priorities so violently readjusted by the fact of becoming kindred where you can't trust other people. Like, the lesson we keep getting over and over is like, question everything. You have to find like your way in the world. Don't trust other people. Don't fall into like systems and authorities. And it's very much like the anarch understanding of the world, and that's what we're living through. And I think it's just anathema to like how Fuego understands everything around her, and it's just not going great, TBH. And even though her power set is so much about like I can kind of bring people in and like hold them to me and kind of use my influence and ability to get the best out of other people, none of that is real. And I think she's kind of bumping up against that and feeling more alone than ever, despite finally having like a coterie.
I think that, it's like, in a weird way, now that we have more kindred, it's more complicated than it was when we were on our own.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both of your characters are getting pretty reckless. You got pretty.
Your word, and the word I think anyone that watched the episode might use.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of hunger going on here.
Yeah.
Someone's thirsty.
God, you rolled all three, and it was great.
I thought it would be. I thought it would just be a time saver to roll all three dice at once.
Oh man.
And in a way, it was.
It truly was. Oh God.
Yeah. I almost wish I'd gone into the parking garage with the hunger, but I just don't know how that would have gone with everything else happening.
What's the worst that could have happened?
Oh, I mean, what happened could have gone worse, but
I think it was a elegant solution to a problem that we made.
Let's talk about it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right. So, So Fuego did something. Did a thing. What? So, let's go to that moment real quick. And what's going through Fuego's mind that she would do something that drastic?
I think it was interesting because at the table at the time, there was that understanding that like she was standing with Isaac, who could see everything, who has a similar skill set to her to like intervene and influence people, and it's easy and just so doable. And of course, that was my primary, like, just get in there, make eye contact, you can power the whole thing down and it'll be fine. And then realizing that, like, in that moment, everything that we were talking about, like the isolation, and on top of that, Fuego's frustration with how every other fight has gone. She's frozen in the moment of conflict. When we were fighting the bad boy that got away, there was nothing that she could do to help, and she felt herself like bumping on people's unswayable minds all the time. So she doesn't even feel that effective with her skill set. She feels underpowered and undervalued, and in that moment, she had the chance to grab and do something powerful and meaningful and finish it in one. And it was just so easy to have that in a heartbeat. You don't think about who that like pillar of personality, what you think you care about. And she was willing to risk it all to just feel that moment of power and satisfaction and finality, which I think she doesn't get with her like very messy, very social skill set.
Yeah, and it is, I mean, you could say it's a very Ventru thing to do, to use that particular power
Yeah.
To convince someone to let you shoot them with their own gun.
Yeah.
But as a player, how do you feel this is going to affect, Fuego going forward? Because that's got to leave a stain, right?
Oh, yeah. She's absolutely wrecked by it. And I think it's colored a lot of the rest of the episode, her bumping against Isaac. Because you really, there wasn't a lot of data for her to, angrily react to. I think it's more she understands that he has all of the, cool composure and the long vision and enough context to make the right choices. And she just feels messy and wrong. And I think that's going to, sort of turn and burn inside of her for a while. Because once she gets back and you have those moments to breathe and reevaluate who you are against what you've done, it doesn't add up anymore. And she's going to start moving through that and decide what part of her is the person she is now and what that means for who she thought she would always be.
Yeah.
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 As heavy as it is for you to hear it, imagine us having to live it.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So we can ask you what it was like.
Oh my God.
What were you thinking when this was happening?
Oh boy, I was I was very surprised and immediately like, well, what are we gonna do about this? And the frustration of then having Ray do something that I was not expecting. Somebody who, again, was trying to be somebody who I thought could be a good influence or be a good example for me, doing a convenient thing at the time for his conscience, but comes up against a lot of frustrations that Serif has with ghouls and how they're utilized because her mom is a ghoul. And yeah, and that is something that is extremely morally conflicting for her.
Yeah, so you had half of your coterie just being...
And I'm not a big fan of Isaac right now either, so...
Throw the whole Sneaksy away.
I think Serif's really going through a thing right now. I think she just feels like she doesn't know where she fits in, and she doesn't know who to turn to in this moment. And I think Bree provided some interesting wisdom about the rejection of mentorship, the rejection of following, a code or a path, and just following instead of freedom, which is what I think Serif ultimately does desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bree. Of course, Bree. Added a lot of words of wisdom for you. And then just another makeout buddy? Is that?
No, I mean, yes, because, I'm sorry, did you see Bree? But no, it was absolutely the same thing. She came in with this energy that was like, hey, whatever choice you made is the choice you made and you have to stand by it. And I think that sort of, even if it's just a balm for a moment, it's enough to get you out of the hey, if I keep thinking about this, I'm gonna spiral and never come out.
Yeah.
And having someone that was just like, hey, you made a choice and own it. And we are people that simply do. And it was just all the things she needed to hear in that moment. And I think she was just sort of overcome with it was gratitude and attraction and relief and release and pushing off via, sexual energy. I'm happy to move to a different part of my body because if I stay in my brain, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
So I think there was just a lot of relief in that moment.
It was nice to meet a playful kindred as well.
Yes!
Ooh, somebody just down to clown.
Yeah.
Right?
Fantastic.
She's got a cool bird.
Yeah, I liked the bird.
Well, we've talked a lot about what y'all were thinking during the episode. I just want to close with, because you both embody your characters and make very reactionary decisions that are very steeped in character choices. I'd love to know how you get in character before. I know you've got a playlist, right?
Yes.
Do you listen to music
I
at all?
too have a playlist.
Yes!
Okay. So how do you guys get in character before each show? You jammed your playlist? How does music help you get to this place?
It's a lot of Desperado by Rihanna. And so just the idea that there's a soundscape, and also Fun by Vince Staples. So it's
That's
just
true. Now we have to share these. These are
I have
Spotify
it's out
No.
there. It's out there.
Yes.
I'll share it somewhere for people to listen to. But just having a soundscape of a feeling that you can't necessarily easily access. Like my real life is nothing like this. So finding a mood that can help me access those emotions, and then just trying to stay in it. Picking Serif's outfit for the day also helps a lot. I think she does have a little bit of a costume story. If I have my silly little brain about it, of like, okay, these are the things that I think she's grappling with, and I try to help the wardrobe support that. Yeah, so those help me a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of that, and then personally, I play a lot of RPGs, so I lean a lot on my memory to like. I think I keep a pretty good tight ship of like what's going on, but I really like waking up the morning of like the game and writing down the first 3 things I remember from the previous episode. And it, like, if you think hard enough, like, I don't remember the whole episode, but like, what are the first 3 things that pop up? There's an emotional, like, so there's something emotional tied to the character, tied to that. And using that as like a little bit of a guidepost for it, like, these are going to be Fuego's priorities, the things that are still sort of on her mind going into the next day, and having those. And then I have a long like Fuego playlist, and I tend to skip around to the tracks that I think like, I'm trying to build pathways to like, okay, she's thinking about this, and I'll try to like tether it to a specific song, and then just listen to that song over and over and over in the car like a crazy person.
Yep.
And just really like dig in on the like, this is that feeling, and it feels like hyping yourself up before, I don't know. It's like, it feels like the beginning of 8 Mile of like, okay, and we're here and we're in the moment, let's go.
I can't wait to listen to both of these playlists.
Oh, buckle up.
I'll start to build a host playlist for me for these.
Yes.
It'll all be EDM.
It's all just the news. It's just news.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tight black pant coterie playlist.
Tight-
Let's go.
Tight Black Pants Club.
There we go.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us on Club Auspex. Thank you for coming to the club.
Thank you.
And
Still waiting on
showing
that
me,
jacket.
You know,
Look,
nice.
let me know when I can get on the list for the jacket. I would love.
Yeah, we'll put you on the list. You're on the list.
The long
Okay, cool.
list.
Yeah, it's just you know, back order.
Yeah.
Shipping. Oh.
Ah.
Remember, I only need 1 sleeve because I'm very Fuego likes 1 sleeve only.
All right.
That's her whole
I'll put that
personality.
on the list.
Thanks.
All right, so that's been Club Auspex. Thank you so much for joining us today, and looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you for
And
having us.
look out for those playlists, I guess.